introduction. Arie Ball, thank you for joining me. Now, you presented this morning a case study from Sodexo and how you've, inspired change and an innovative recruitment culture that breaks the mould. Could you tell us a little bit about what you've done at Sodexo?
Sure. What I described this morning was created because our company had actually had a crisis situation with recruitment. Recruitment had become the #1 boardroom issue of the day. And because of the problems with recruitment, we had the opportunity to create a department the way we saw it, to build it from scratch. We hired and trained an entire team, and most importantly what we did was to build a foundation around our mission, vision, values. And a lot of people talk about mission, vision, and values, but for us they're a lot more than words on paper that were written and then filed away someplace. There's things that our values are part of how we operate, the way we work with each other, the way we work with our candidates, the way we work with our hiring partners, and the way we approach innovation and new ideas. So our opportunity made it somewhat easier than it would for other groups. Because we were in crisis, we were able to make changes that others may not be able to make quite as easily as we did. Not to say that we didn't work as hard as I've ever worked in my entire life. It was literally 24/7 for about a year. But it was a little easier than it would be if somebody had something that they needed to mold and modify over time. We were able to do it very quickly.
Right.
In order to get to where we are today.
Okay, and can you describe how you're using some of the social channels that are part of your recruitment program?
Well, our social media that we're using is used for multiple purposes. First, for building our employment brand. Even though we're the 18th largest employer in the world, we don't have that same brand recognition that a lot of the consumer-facing companies have. So, people don't know who we are and what we do. So one of the things that we do with social media is help people understand who Sodexo is, what kind of job opportunities we have, but what our culture is. It gives them that insider view of our organization. And that's particularly important as our company is growing and expanding into new services. So our legacy has always been in the food service side of the business. And we're now growing over the last several years more and more into other aspects like facilities management and energy management. Well, we want to build our employment brand with those kind of candidates as well. So we've done quite a bit to build a brand and help our candidates and engineers, a new type of candidates, new disciplines, understand what Sodexo is all about. So we do that. Our employment brand is one piece. It helps to make what we do more visible, our jobs more visible, etc. We also use our social media presence to have candidate engagement. So we engage with our candidates on Facebook. Individual recruiters will talk to candidates on Facebook about specific jobs that these candidates are interested in. We use it with Twitter to engage with passive candidates. And we also, our social presence is also very helpful to us for our diversity recruitment. Diversity recruitment is very important. It's a key driver, key part of our strategy for Sodexo. So we do quite a bit of sourcing and relationship building with different organizations, women and minority organizations, disabilities organizations, the military, all sorts of diversity-related organizations. And social is a way to help amplify that presence. So, for example, we may engage with different diverse organizations, women's groups, minority groups on LinkedIn, the different groups on LinkedIn, engage with them and build relationships on LinkedIn just as you would at an in real life conference. We'll also attend real life conferences, but engage with the potential candidates prior to the conference, during the conference, and after the conference, utilizing the different social channels. So it helps to amplify what we're already doing in real life. And those are just a few examples of how we're using social media.
And so what were some of the challenges, I guess, in implementing social media that you came up against, and I guess any tips for recruiters who are looking to go down that path? Did you get much resistance?
In the beginning, we started in 2007, and that was back in the day when a lot of companies weren't as open as they are today to having authentic social presences and having a recruitment department have an authentic social presence. We worked at it. I think we were able to gain some credibility with some other work that we had done previously, and we did a lot to help give them comfort that we had a plan in place and knew what we were doing. So, for example, we put all of our recruiters through significant training on etiquette. Yep. What's right, what's appropriate, what are the right ways to respond to certain comments. What do we tweet about, what don't we tweet about? What our profiles will look like, what's appropriate for a profile, how you don't stalk, how you build relationships, all of that. So we did that type of training. And that was one thing. The other thing is we did things we did what-if scenarios. So if we got this type of a negative comment, this is how we would handle it. So we had a whole plan built out, and that made people very comfortable that we knew what we were doing. Even our blog, right on our blog, we have a notice that explaining the purpose of our blog. It's about jobs and helping people with their careers. And if somebody had commentary that wasn't aligned with our purpose, we may not post it. So we let people know that if something is inappropriate for jobs and careers, we may not put it up there. So that also brought comfort to the organization that this was not going to be a free for all.
Yeah, and clearly that is very important in getting that stakeholder buy-in.
Sure.
Could I just ask you, what do you see as, I guess, the next significant investment in the next 12 months, whether from a technology point of view or just generally within the recruitment space? Where do you think your efforts will be focused in the next sort of 12 to 24 months?
Well, the next 12 months, our efforts are going to be to continue to work on some of the projects that we've got going right now. We've got some integrations that we want to work with on some of our current technologies, and that would help make us more efficient. Some technology integration. That's one area. We want to continue on mobile to convert all of our sites to responsive design. Again, to help us become even more efficient and more effective in the work that we're doing. That's an area we're looking to. We've done a couple pilots with social sharing, one using a tool, a purchase kind of tool and a manual approach. And though we got hires from each pilot, we didn't get the type of success that we were hoping to get. We know that it's still a good idea. We just need to continue to work it. And there's some technology that we're actually looking at as another twist to the same type of initiative. So we're hoping by looking at this technology and working with this that we might be able to enhance our, to really work with our hiring managers, social graphs, and take advantage of their own social networks.
Okay, so really looking at simplification, driving efficiency, and how you can better utilise technology is the future for Sodexo.
I think forever it's going to be. We're going to be going down that path of utilising technology to help support our initiatives.
Arie, thank you very much for joining us. The delegates have thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, and we look forward to hearing further about what Sodexo is doing. So thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you.